Yeah, hello everyone. Is my voice audible, guys? Yeah. So let's go to our application. So let me run our development server. So I think it is in the running state only. Let me open that. So this is our application which we have created in the last class. So here, if you see, we were getting this padding issue, right? That is because here I did not add border box. So what you have to do? So is my screen shared, right? Yeah. So just go to the index.css file. Here we have written margin 0. Now we have to add these two properties as well, padding 0 and box sizing border box. So basically we are saying that whenever we are calculating the width of our element, then that width should include padding value and border value to that element as well. So it is the more recommended way compared to the content box. In case if you don't know more about this box sizing, then I will recommend strongly, highly to go and explore this property in CSS. What is box sizing? Why we use box sizing? What are the different values we can assign to box sizing? And what are those values? And what are the impact of those values? In that way, you have to explore this part. So now, if I come back here, the moment I add that two properties, if you see here, we got here proper part. And one more thing, what we are going to do here is, we will go to our sign in CSS file. Now to our form. This was our form element. Now to this form element, we have assigned some height, that is 300 pixel. Now I will remove this height. I don't want height. So if I remove the height, now as per my requirement, it will take. If I want, I can increase little bit padding if I need. Suppose if I make it 30 pixel, it looks something like this. Now here, in between this button and this content, now see here we have little bit more space. So what we want, little bit slightly, we want to drag this content towards bottom. So for that, we can go to that forgot password class. This is our forgot password class. To this, let's assign some margin top. Maybe I will assign 11 pixel and I will check how it looks. So we got like this, but it looks so much space. Maybe I can reduce the value. Maybe I will try 8 pixel. It looks like this. Let me try 7. It looks like, yeah. Here I want to stick. So compared to yesterday's session code, what we have done is, first in index.css, we have added these two property, and to our forgot password class, we have added this margin top property. And one more change I have done here. So if you go to this JSX file, so if you remember, somewhere here we have added that class input. So to this div, we have added class input and we were decreasing the width of this div. So I have removed that class. So let me just check whether I have removed CSS code or not. Yeah, CSS code also removed. So that changes also you can do compared to last session. So if you remembered, here we added class input like this, and we return some CSS for it. We decreased the width of this div. So that class completely I have removed. Now no need. So now if you see here, we have sign in container. Now let's make this form class name as a sign in form. So I'm changing class name to sign in form. So now if I'm changing class here also I have to change it. So wherever I am using form, I have to change it to sign in hyphen form. Sign in hyphen form. So we have here sign in container. In that we have sign in form. In sign in form, we have H2 title. We have taken one div, added email. We have taken one more div, added password. Now let me remove this part from here. We have one more div. In that we have added button. Now I think we don't require this. I will remove this. So let me go and check. Yeah, it is placing fine. Or maybe if I add that. Yeah, so it is looking good by adding that only. So I will stick with this property. Text align center for this div. So that button will display exactly in the center of the div. And then we have this forgot password. And here we have added two span tags. In first one, sign up link. In second one, forgot password. Here, let's add don't you have account? So I will add here don't. So don't you have account? If not, click on sign up. So if you click on sign up form should come here. If you click on password form should come. So now let's go back here. So sign in part is done. Sign in design is done. Functionality we haven't implemented. We have just designed the sign in form. Now similar to sign in form, I want sign up form also. So what I will do now, I will copy this entire code as it is. I will go back to my sign up folder. In that we have sign up JSX file, and here I will paste that code. And here we have sign in, right? Now this sign in, I will change to sign up. Here also we have sign in, this sign in. So here I will select this part. I will change this sign in to sign up. And whatever CSS we have in the sign in, same CSS I will copy. And I will add in the sign up CSS. And now here, wherever I have sign in, I will copy that part and change it to sign up. So sign up container, sign up form H2, sign up form input, sign up form button. Now here we don't require forgot password. Let's remove. We don't require forgot password, anchor tag also. So I will just keep this part like this. Now let me close CSS file, sign in file. Let's close sign in JSX. Let's close. Let's go to sign in, sign up JSX. And here we don't require this forgot password. So right now I am removing this part. So what I have done, just whatever code I have created for sign in, same code I have copy pasted. Just wherever I have sign in term, that term I have changed to sign up. Now let's render that sign up in our app.jsx file. So let's import sign up from /pages/signup/signup.jsx. Now let's render that sign up component. Let's see how it looks. So if I save and if I go back here, I got here to sign in, sign in. Now let's change this title also. Here we don't want sign in, we want sign up. So let's open sign up JSX. Let's go first here. Let's change to sign up button, and let's come on the top here also. Let's make it sign up. So we got here sign up, sign up. And if I scroll down, here we have sign in as it is. So in sign in, we have these two links. In sign up, I have removed it. Now in sign up, apart from email ID and password, we have to add some more. So I will copy this, and here I will add one more. And here, instead of email, I will say text. And here, instead of email ID, I will add here username. So we have username, we have email, we have password. I want one more box where user can enter CT. So here also, I am making it text. And here I will say CT. So now it looks like this. So we have username, we have email ID, we have password, we have CT. Now after CT, when I have given the design, I have told you guys to add here radio buttons. I told you guys to add here radio buttons. But now instead of radio button, let's add drop down button. If you want to change that drop down button to radio button, then it's your wish. You can do that as well. But I want to take here drop down button. So I will take one div. And in that, I will take select element. Now to this select element, I will add gender as ID. And here I will take option, value as a male. And here also it's like male. Let me keep it male. In the same way, I need two more option, female and other. Here I will make it female. Here also female. Here other. Here also something like other. And to this div, I will add one class called gender container. Now, if I go back here, I got here like this drop down button. Now to this drop down button, I have to add some styles. So first, let's select this gender container. Or no need of selecting this gender container because anyways div will be 100%. So I will remove that. Anyways, we have added for select gender ID, right? So let's select this gender. So here I will select gender, and first I will increase the width to 100%. So the moment I increase the width to 100%, now it will be 100%. Now to this select element, I will add some padding. So maybe I can add 13 pixel, 20 pixel. So it will be like this. So instead of, maybe here I can try 15. Or let me just keep 13 pixel only from all the sides. Then it looks like this. Now to this drop down button, I will make border 0, outline 0. So that border is removed. Let's add background color. Let's add same color what we have added to input. So we will select this color and we will assign here. So we have assigned width, select width 100%, padding we have assigned, border we have made 0, outline 0, and we have added background color. So it looks something like this. Now we can select here male, female, other, whatever you want, you can select it. Now, after this sign up here, I want some text like, do you have account? So here, after the button, I can take one div and in that I can say, do you have account? If yes, then here we need to create one anchor tag. And here I will say sign in. So we got here like this, sign in. Sign up, here sign in. So maybe yes, capital I will say sign in. Like this we got. Now here whatever styles we have added, same styles we need to add here. So for this, we can add some class. Something like, or here only can we go with the inline CSS. Text align, we will add center. Here we got text align center. And let's add margin. Margin top, we will add 7 pixel. So we got some space. Now for this anchor element, we will add some styles. So right now, color, are we making it to green, dark? And font weight, bold. What else we can add? Text decoration, none. Yeah. Okay. So here, color should be dark green, not green dark. It should be dark green. Now we got like this. So here dark green or green, I think only green. Let's add green. Now if I go back here, yeah, we got green. So we got here sign up. So username, email ID, password, CT, other, and here you can select any option and sign up. Sign in, sign up. So here we have now sign up form. We have here sign in form. Now what we want to implement that navigation. If I click on sign in, then sign in component should come. If I click on here sign up component should come. So that routing I want to implement. So before I implement routing, I just wanted to know how many of you know how to implement routing in React application. How to implement routing in React application. Just let me know on the chat. If everybody knows, then no need to waste our time in explaining this routing part. If you don't know, then I can explain this part. Everybody knows how to implement routing or you don't know? Feel free to let me know, guys. If you don't know, then I will explain. If you know, I will skip like that. I think you can unmute yourself. You can chat. No response from anyone. I just wanted to know whether you know routing or not. Yes or no. That's it. Yeah, that is what Chandra. Okay, so let me try to explain what is routing, guys. So first of all, what is routing in React? So basically, routing is a technique of switching from one part of your application to another part of your application. So what is routing in React? Routing is a technique, or you can call mechanism, to switch from one part of application to the another part of the application. To the another part of the application. That is what we call as a routing. So if you have, let's assume that on the screen you are showing only like this sign up or sign in component only. Let's assume that you are showing only sign in component. So only sign in is there. Apart from that, nothing is there. Now here we have a link called sign up. Now the moment I click on this link, now we have to remove this sign in component and we have to render sign up component. And the same way, if I click on this sign in link, then we have to remove this sign up component. We have to render this sign in component. This process we call as a routing, means switching from one part of your application to another part of your application. So to implement routing in React application, React doesn't provide any kind of functionality or feature. So routing directly we cannot implement using React library. So routing directly we cannot implement using React library. That is the reason we are going to take the help of another library called React Router DOM. So using React Router DOM. So we have one more library called React Router DOM. So using React Router DOM, we can implement routing in React application. We can implement routing in React application. So we have to take the help of another library called React Router DOM. So what is routing? Routing is a technique or mechanism to switch from one part of application to another part of the application. Routing directly, we cannot implement using React library. So if you cannot implement routing with React library, then what to do? Then we have to depend on some external library. And that external library is React Router DOM. So using React Router DOM, we can implement routing in React application. So for this, we have to do two things. First, we have to install React Router DOM. Then we have to do configuration of React Router DOM with our application. These are the two steps we have to implement. Now, how to install React Router DOM? For that, we have to simply use the command npm install space react -router -DOM. This is the command we have to use to install React Router DOM in our application. So let's install. So let's go to our application. Now let me close all this. Now let's open terminal. And now here I am using the command npm install react -router -DOM. The moment you enter, this package is going to install or download in your application. Now, how to identify whether it is installed or download in our application? For that, go to the package.json file and check here. In package.json file, open package.json file, and under dependencies, you check whether you got React Router DOM or not. If you got here React Router DOM, it means successfully this library or this package is installed or downloaded in your application. Now let's close that part. Now, next we have to configure it. So to configure React Router DOM with our React application, we have to follow some steps. What are those steps? Let me here add. The first step is wrap browser router component of React Router DOM, or not browser router, here I have to say app. Okay, wrap app component of React inside the browser router component of React Router DOM. This is the first step we have to do. Browser router component of React Router DOM. So this is the first step we have to do. So what we have to do? We have to wrap app component of React inside the browser router component of React Router DOM. So for this, you have to go to your application. Now this is our application. Now inside the SRC, under main.jsx file, we are rendering our app component. So let me remove this strict mode. So remove this strict mode, just keep app. So inside the main.jsx file, our app component is rendering. Now this app component, we have to wrap inside the browser router component of React Router DOM. That is the first step we have to do. So how to do for that? Inside our main.jsx file, you have to import a component from React Router DOM. Which component you have to import from this library? That is browser router. A browser router is a predefined component which we have to import from the React Router DOM. Now our app component, this app component you can remove from here. So inside this render, first render this browser router component like opening tag and closing tag. And inside this opening and closing tag, add our app component. This is called wrapping app component inside browser router component. This is the first step we have to do. So I will take this screenshot of this code and I will add in our paint file. This is the meaning of wrapping browser app component inside the browser router component. This is the first step we have to do. Now, second step, we have to configure route paths to our links. Second step is configure route path to our links. Second step is we have to configure route path to our links. So in our case, links are nothing but this. So if I go to that sign up, this sign up is a link. This forgot password is a link. And even in sign up page, that sign in is a link. So we have to go to those links and we have to configure route path. So what is the meaning of configuring route path? Let me explain you. So first, let me close this main.jsx and let me go to the sign in component. So sign in.jsx. Now inside this sign in component, we created two links. So let's go to that link. Now this is the link. Now to this link here, to this href attribute, we have to add here route path. So whenever user will click on this sign up, in our URL, after this port number, we have to add route path. And what route path we want to add? We want to add like this sign up. So right now, if you see, our URL is like this. So let me copy this and let me paste here. Right now, our URL is like this. This is our URL right now. Now, what I want to do, whenever user will click on this sign up link, to this particular URL, I want to add route path. How to add route path? After this port number, we have to add /sign up. Like this, I want to add. So this is called route path. This part is called route path. After port number, whatever you have, this is called route path. This is called route path. This is called route path. So how to add like this route path to our URL? For that, whatever route path you want to add to your URL, that route path you have to configure as a value to href attribute. That's it. So here I am saying /sign-up. And here also I will say /forgot password. So now I am saying that whenever user will click on this sign up link, then in our URL, after port number, this route path should be added. If user click on forgot password, then in our URL, after port number, this route path should be added. In the same way, I will go to my sign up JSX file. There also we have one link at the bottom. Here also we have this anchor link, and here we have sign in button. So whenever sign in link, whenever user will click on this sign in link, we have to add route path as sign-in. Right now, I'm just keeping it sign in. Now see here, save it, go back. Now see, I will refresh my application. So I don't have anything after this 5173 port number. Now I will click on this sign up. The moment I click on sign up, I got here sign up. If I click on forgot password, I got here forgot password. So if I click on sign up, I got sign up. If I click on forgot password, here I got forgot password. This is what we call as configuring the route path. So I will take this screenshot and I will add here, so that it will be easy for you when you are referring or revising. That's why see, I am going very, very, very slow. So do you want me to speed up or do you want me to stick with this speed? Do you want me to speed up my explanation or do you want me to stick with the same speed? So I'm just getting one response. What about others, guys?
Same speed, sir.
Huh?
Same speed.
Same speed? Yeah. So for freshers, speed is good, but for experienced people, it is very slow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go slow only because we want to understand the things. So when you are revising, just increase the speed, like make it 1.5 or 2x and watch. So 1 hour video, you can watch within 30 minutes and it will come speed up. Okay. So this is our route path. Now let's go back here. So we have added route path. This is the second step we have to do. Now third step is we have to configure the routes. Configuring the routes is nothing but, or here instead of routes, we can say that configure the route. Configure the route for all components. Configuring the route is nothing but based on route path, rendering the component. Based on route path, rendering the component. That configuration we have to do. Based on route path, rendering the component means, suppose here if the route path is forgot password, then forgot password component should come here. If route path is sign up, then sign up component should render. If route path is sign in, then sign in component should render. So based on this route path, we have to render the component on the screen. How we can do? For that, React Router DOM provides us one predefined component called route. So we have to go to the app.jsx because here we are rendering our components now. Now inside this app.jsx, what you can do? You can import route component. So we have to import some component from React Router DOM. And what component? That is route component. Now remove this both. Now here you have to render this route component. So one route component for sign in and one more route component for sign up. Now to this route component, you have to add two props. The first prop is path and second prop is element. For this route also, you have to add same props, path and element. Here you have to configure your route path. So we are telling to this route component, in my URL, whenever route path is /signin. In my URL, whenever the route path is /signin, in that case, you render sign-in component. In my URL, whenever route path is /signup, in that case, you render signup component. So this is called configuring the route. So here, this path value should match with your route path, which you have configured in the link. So whenever in your browser URL, in this browser URL, whenever it is a sign up, then it will check, is there any route which is configured with sign up? Yes. In that case, which component need to render? Sign up. So on the screen, it will render sign up component. This is called configuring the route. So I will just take this screenshot and I will add here. Once we done this third step, then what we have to do? Fourth step. Wrap all route component inside the routes component. What we have to do? We have to wrap route component inside the routes component. So there is one more predefined component called routes. So we have to wrap our route component inside the route. So from this React Router DOM, we have to import here one more component called routes. Okay, remember routes. Now inside this routes, we have to keep this both the route. So I will remove this both the route from here first. I will add routes first. And inside that, I will add this both the route. All these are the rules we have to do. All these are the configurations we have to do. So if you do these configurations, then only internally your React will understand based on what route path, which component has to load. So these rules are nothing but we are giving the instruction to React. So whenever in my URL, this is the route path, render this component. If this is the route path, render this component. So now if I go back here, now things are done. See, now here it is /signup. That's why signup component. Now there is no sign in. But if I click on sign in, I got sign in. If I click on sign up, sign up. See, we are able to switch from sign in to sign up to sign in. But here there is one problem. What is the problem? The moment I click on any link, if I click on any link, my page is reloading. Just keep an eye on this refresh button. I'm clicking on sign up. You will find some moment here. Some moment. Again, if I click sign in, some moment. So here our page is reloading whenever we are visiting any link. So in our React application, we have to restrict this part. How to restrict this part? To restrict this part, we have to replace all our anchor element with link component. So next step, what you have to do here is fifth step. Replace all anchor element with link component and href attribute with two props. So wherever you are using anchor element. So let me go to sign in. Now here I am using anchor element. Here I am using anchor element. So in this component first, you import link component from React router DOM. You have to import link component from React router DOM. And here, wherever you are using anchor tag, replace that anchor tag with the link component. Here also link. And this href with two props. Wherever you have href, two props. Same thing in the sign up also. Here also link. Here link. And this href to two props. That's it. Now if I go back here, now if I click on sign up, observe here there will be no movement. Anything went wrong? Anything changed? Link component, two props, sign in. And here also, here we did not import link component. So let's import link component from React router DOM. Now, if you observe here, we got it. Now there will be no movement. See, there will be no movement here. Now when I am switching, it is very fast. Plus, there is no movement also. So we are able to implement routing in our React application. So first, let me take the screenshot of this part. And let me paste here. And next, we have to replace our anchor element with link component. So just I will add this one line. It will be easy for you to understand. That's it. Now, initially, it was something like this. Anchor href equals to / forgot password. And here, forgot password. And then / link component. Sorry, anchor tag, right? Here, anchor tag. So it was something like this. Let me decrease the size, 22. Let me make it like this. So what we have done from here, we have navigated to this part. So anchor we have changed to link, href we have changed to two props. So anchor to link, href to two props. Apart from that, everything is same. This is how we implement routing in our React application. Now, can you guys design forgot password? Can you design forgot password page? So if you go here and if you just search for forgot password page, and if you go to any images, you will get so many images here. So like this, I want you guys to design one forgot password. You can just pick any layout from here and you can design in that way. I just want it should be customized as per your requirement, as per your thoughts, to customize it. Like this, I want you to create one forgot password. So if I click on forgot password, then we should be able to switch to forgot password page. So if I click on this /forgot, right now nothing is displaying. Here I want to display forgot page. If you want to keep same theme, you can keep same theme also. So now here if I say sign in, I got sign in. Same theme you can pitch, same background color, everything you can keep. Just you need one text box, one button, and forgot password thing. You can just copy paste and you can write the code. So I just want you guys to create one forgot password. So if you are not able to create, in next session, I will create that part. Okay. So now we have created sign up form. We have implemented routing also. So now our next session, guys. Next session is on Tuesday. Okay, Monday little bit I am traveling. Saturday, Sunday, Monday I am traveling little bit. So our next session will be on Tuesday. So meanwhile, what I want you guys to do, in my YouTube channel, there are videos related to module concept. So if you don't know module concept, learn that concept and revise your state concept in React. So on state also I have video. I think I have given that videos also. Or if you go to my YouTube channel on ReactJS series, you will find video on state concept. I just want you guys to revise these two concepts and come. Okay. So in Tuesday's session, what we are going to do means we will implement the functionality of sign in and sign up. Functionality means now user will type here email ID sagar@gmail.com. Now I want to access this value from this text box. User will type here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I want to access the value from this text box. So if you want to access the value from this both the text box, then you should be very good with this state concept. We are going to use this state concept. Okay, so for this, I will use state concept, and for sign up, I will use ref concept. Using ref also, we can access the data from all these UI components. So we will use both. So both the concepts will be covered up. So for sign up, we will use ref. Use ref first, I will explain, then I will use. And for sign in, I will use state concept. State concept, using state concept and accessing data is little challenging compared to ref concept. So make sure on Tuesday you are revising state concept and coming. If you don't revise and come, then Tuesday's session you won't even understand anything. So in Tuesday's session, we are going to see how we can access the data from this both the boxes on click of this button. And if I click on this button, that data we have to display in the console. So why we are taking this data? We will take this data and we have to give to backend. So if you want to give email ID and password to the backend, first of all, we should be able to access the data from these boxes. How we have to access, that is what we are going to learn. And how to handle this email ID and password, that also we are going to see. Here we are going to show if email ID is wrong or password is wrong, some notification we want to show here. If it is not valid, then we want to show here some kind of message, error message we want to show. So for example, If I go to this sign in, here after password, I just want to add simple paragraph and I want to say password invalid. And to this, I will just add here some style right now. I will say color red. So if you see here, I got like this, password invalid. And to this margin, I will make it 0. So yeah, for that input element, I think we have added something we have to do. We have to check that part. This space I don't want. This password should display exactly here. So maybe here for input element, we have added some CSS. So maybe on CSS part, we have to do slight changes. So here, where is our input element? Yeah, to this input element, we have added margin bottom. So if I just comment this part, it looks like this. So like this, I want password is invalid. How we can show that? That is what we have to do. So like this, we have to add. Maybe instead of paragraph, maybe I can take span also in that case. So here, instead of paragraph, we can go with span as well. So here we have to show that message password is invalid or email is invalid when if email ID and password are not correct. So if you write certain validations and if that validations are not satisfied, based on that, you want to show some error messages here. So how we can do that? That is what we are going to learn. Yeah. So that's all guys for today's session. Yeah. If you have any doubts, let me know. In case if you don't have any doubts, yeah, you can leave and let's meet on Tuesday and let's continue our session.